Fuck this. Alright, what's going on? My name is Jack Southall, excuse the lame ass intro, and welcome to a different kind of wrestling video. And because today is Halloween, hopefully by the time this is uploaded, I mean, it's a pretty cool holiday. I don't understand why us Australians do not celebrate it. I mean, you know, you dress up in some cool costumes, chocolates, lollies, fucking hot girls in skimpy outfits. I mean, what more could you ask for, really? And you know what? Yeah, have some chocolate right now. There you go. And so today we are going to be counting down the top 10 scariest wrestlers, in my opinion. Scariest, creepiest, whatever the fuck wrestlers of all time. Before, let's start off with a couple of honourable mentions. We've got Abdullah the Butcher, the fat bastard that likes to stick forks in people and blades every single match. Bruiser Brody, rest in peace. Killer Kowalski, I mean seriously, his name is Killer, for Christ's sake. But yeah, let's not mess about, let's get straight into the countdown. So number 10 is Papa Shango. Not the Godfather, not the come get on the hoe train, whatever the hell. I'm talking about Papa Shango. He debuted around 91, 92, something like that. He had like creepy skull, face paint, whatever. And he had like some sort of like weird thing. He was like a witch doctor kind of guy and all that. And of course his big crowning achievement was at WrestleMania 8 where he missed his cue in the Hogan and Sid Justice match. You see running his fat little ass into the ring and just beating the shit out of Hogan. Yeah, good job Papa Shango. But yeah, so number 10 Papa Shango for being scary at not going at right times. Yeah. Number 9 is Mankind. Of course, Mick Foley has had an array of different characters. He's got his normal Mick Foley character, Dude Love, the hippie, I love everyone kind of guy, Cactus Jack, the crazy psycho bastard who's known for hardcore matches. But then there's Mankind. He debuted around, I believe, 96 or 95, and he would wear like this kind of worn out mask. His hair was messy and he had like just brown like clothing on, and he would talk really quietly, and then all of a sudden he'd just scream out of nowhere when he would cut promos. Very cool, interesting stuff, and he was involved in a lot of great things, of course with the Undertaker, you know, in 96 when they had Boiler Room Brawls and Buried Alive matches and the whole thing with Paul Bearer, you know, smacking the urn on Undertaker's head and being with Mankind and all that. So yeah, and also he's a very cool character, and even when he went to the Attitude Era, he was still very popular. He toned down his creepiness a bit, you know, he started wearing a tie and all that, and he became world champion, and the whole Mr. Socko, have a nice day, all that kind of stuff. And his infamous fall off the Hell in a Cell, which was just scary in itself. It could quite possibly be the most scariest moment in wrestling history. But yeah, because of that, Mankind is our number 9. So, coming in at number 8, I know we said like one superstar, but I'm kind of gonna give it a miss here. We're going for Gangrel and the Brood. The reason Gangrel, he was like a vampire character from the Attitude Era, and yeah, he would wear like a white shirt and he had like bangs, and his entrance with the Brood was awesome. Their music is just, that music though was incredible, and they would like rise up from the flames and all that, and Gangrel would be looking cool, and Edge and Christian would be right behind them, and you know, they'd make their way to the ring and all that, and what they would do is he would get like a wine glass that was filled with blood, and he would just like drink it and go all Triple H and spray it out onto the crowd. And sometimes like during matches, like the lights will go out and the lights go back on, someone would be covered in blood, which or whatever. It was really, really gross and creepy and cool. kind of fit in with those vampires from like 1980s, kind of like Lost Boys kind of thing, and not glittery pussy vampires on Twilight. So yeah, Gangrel and the Brood, number 8. So coming in at number 7 is Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, he's not like over gimmicky or anything. He would always carry a snake, Damien around with him, and he was extremely popular during the 80s era of wrestling. And during that time where everything was all colourful and out of control and crazy, this guy was there. He was talking really soft and very cold and menacing, and he would always hit guys with the DDT. No one could kick out of the DDT. Nowadays it's used in every other match. But during that time, Jake had just a devastating maneuver, driving someone's head into the mat. And he did a lot of despicable things, especially with poor Macho Man Randy Savage. I remember he had him like tied on the ropes or something. He got Damien and he bit Macho Man, which was just hard to watch. And then there was a bit where like they hid a snake in Miss Elizabeth's present for like her wedding or whatever, and I believe he was having a thing with Undertaker. And he did something with Ultimate Warrior where like he turned on him and Ultimate Warrior started like spewing out like black vomit. I think that was with Papa Shango, our number 10 pick. But yeah, Jake Roberts was a very creepy character for the time frame of professional wrestling. Like during that time, and you had Hogan telling you to eat your vitamins, say your prayers, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. Very cold, calculating Jake Roberts. I mean, he's very popular with the crowd. Coming in at number 6 is, oh boy, the Boogeyman. Now, for those of you who don't remember, in around, I'd say 2005, the Boogeyman made his debut on the SmackDown brand. He looked like some sort of STD, whatever the fuck. He had red paint with like black dots all over. His teeth were all crooked. He would have like a heart necklace and just, he was just a really creepy dude. And he would come in with like a clock in his mouth and just, walk around, and then he'd grab the clock, smash it over his head, and just go like wiggle a little bit. He was just a weird dude, man. And the bit that stood out with me for him, he would always get like a bag of worms or whatever, and he would eat them in the ring, like legit eat them. It was so gross. But one moment in particular that stands out for me, he was in a feud with JBL, and JBL had like some manager, whatever, called Jillian Hall, and she had like this disgusting like cyst on her face, or mole, whatever. And what Boogeyman did, he went to Jillian and literally ate off the mole on her face, like ripped it apart and ate it off. It was so gross. But yeah, Boogeyman, he was a weird cat. He disappeared around 2009, I think he fucked off. But yeah, very creepy character to suit off. Yeah, very, very creepy. So coming in at number 5 is Brock Lesnar. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Jack, what's so scary about Brock Lesnar? Are you kidding me? What isn't scary about Brock Lesnar? Yeah, he might not, be based off some creepy character from a book or a movie or whatever, but he is a fucking machine in that ring. He will tear you limb from limb, and he's been doing that his entire career. He has probably one of the most dominant careers in combat sport. NCAA champion, WWE champion. He beat The Rock after being on the roster for like 5 or 6 months, something like that, and he wins the WWE title. I mean, come on. And from The Rock, of all people, and he beat The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell, not once, but now twice. He ended his streak. He is the only man that can combat against The Undertaker. Not only that, he was a UFC heavyweight champion, and he doesn't need like a creepy background or gimmick to be scary. He's just dominant. He's just a fucking beast, no pun intended, inside of that ring, who will have no share to taking you to Suplex City and back, hit you with a couple of F5s and beat you. And, And see matches like John Cena or his match against Kofi Kingston at Beast in the East, he fucking destroyed them. And it was scary to see just this dominant guy beating the shit out of people. And that's why I feel Brock Lesnar definitely deserves to be number 5 on this list. So number 4 is Sting. No, not the blonde-haired Sting from the early 90s, Surfer Sting, hang loose bruh. No, I'm talking about the dark, demonic, well not demonic, but very dark Sting, based off Brandon Lee's The Crow character. And it was around 96, 97 when the NWO was coming in. Sting said, I can't be it anymore. He left, and then he started to slowly morph from that surfer, cool dude into the dark, depressing, just full of sadness and anger Crow Sting character. And it wasn't until 97 where he finally confronted Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the NWO and WCW, and Hogan was frightened to death of Sting because he was worried this creepy guy who was all nice and all that, and now all of a sudden he's just, he's nothing like he used to be. He's so depressing, and he wants to just destroy Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's what's led to Starrcade 97, and not only that, just any time, and especially now when Sting, shows up and he's after the Crow going caw, caw, and all that, and seeing Sting come down the ring, you get goosebumps, man. At Survivor Series last year when Sting came down, I literally had goosebumps because not only was I just shocked to see Sting in a WWE ring, but his entrance and the feel of him, just with his baseball bat, the black and white face paint and all that, he's so fucking cool, man. And his music, well, his WCW music was so awesome, not that shitty tune that he has now. But Sting is definitely number 4 in my opinion. Number 3, Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. Bray has been one of the top characters to come out of WWE in a long time. I know his booking has been very shoddy over the last 2 years. As of I'm recording this video, he's doing pretty fucking good, getting rid of the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell a few weeks ago or a week ago. But when Bray first came in and his NXT, he wasn't from the darkness or from hell or anything. He was out in the woods. He's someone you'd seen out of a horror movie almost. And he'd be there in his hat and his Hawaiian style shirt, and he'd be saying these very dark, overly dark themes to his promos, and his promo works alone are just, fantastic and so creepy. And then you've got the Wyatt family, Eric Rowan, the sheep, who comes out wearing a sheep mask, and they all have beards and all that, and just very, creepy hillbilly kind of style. And you have Luke Harper, who's just this big dude just dominating everyone and goes, yeah, and all that. And then you've got the new guy, Braun Strowman, who's just a fucking monster. I feel like he's definitely going places, Braun Strowman. I see him doing a lot of awesome stuff. Just this massive, jacked up dude, the black sheep of the Wyatt family, and with the fireflies and the entrance and him holding the lantern, and with his promo work and trying to be against modern society and all that, him wanting to create his own little fucked up world. But yeah, Bray Wyatt, just for his tension, his atmosphere, and just his promos and wrestling skill alone, makes him one of the creepiest characters to come to wrestling to date. So, number 2 is Kane. And I'm not talking about boring, shitty old corporate Kane. Thank God he's gone. I'm talking about the big red machine. The one in 97 where he came to confront Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. Paul Bear was saying for weeks on end, "Your brother Kane is coming," and everyone was like, well, who's this Kane guy? Here comes this dude with this red mask apparently because he had his face burnt off by the Undertaker. I think it was like in a house fire, and Kane got burnt alive. His mother and father got burnt, and he came after the Undertaker, and just he's this big dude, and he was just absolutely frightening to see. And you know, I remember like he just has the flame shooting up, and just a very scary character. Just, and he's always dragging people to hell and all that. And you know, like, I mean, he shocked like Shane McMahon with like electric tweezers. Remember that? He's setting people on fire, like poor JR in 2003. And he's just a sick, twisted, you know, very demonic character. And I feel like Kane has definitely been one of the strongest characters in wrestling history, even if he's got a shitty gimmick like Corporate Kane. Like Glenn Jacobs, Kane's real name, he's just a fantastic worker. Doesn't matter what gimmick you give him, he's going to try his absolute hardest to be as best as he can. So number 2 just goes to Kane, the big red monster. And number 1, in my opinion, he's one of the most important, just atmospheric and scariest, no, he is the scariest wrestler in the history of WWE. I'm talking about none other than Giant Gonzalez. I mean, what hasn't been said? Just the naked body and everything. I'm just fucking kidding. I've mentioned his name throughout the entire list. The Undertaker. There's something about him, man. When he comes out and you hear that dong of the bell, you know shit's going down. And when he walks to the ring and he's got his hat on, he's got the black jacket and the gloves, and he comes out to the ring, you can't help but have goosebumps going up and down your body, man. Like, Undertaker, he has got something no other wrestler in the world has. He has one of the greatest characters pro wrestling has ever seen. Just this dead man who's, every time you try and take him down, he keeps getting back up and keeps getting, and just returns and returns and returns. And that's what makes The Undertaker so awesome, because once you think you've got him down, he always raises back up. And you know, he's feuded with just about every single big-time wrestler you've known who's ever existed from like 1990 to today. Every big-name wrestler, you know, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Rock, just, you know, all those wrestlers he's had feuds with. And, you know, he's had feuds with smaller guys trying to build up their credibility. But honestly, there's no one that can compare to anyone like The Undertaker. You know, just the music alone, and with the smoke coming up, and just his eyes rolling at the back of his head, and telling you to rest in peace and all that. There is no one, and I mean no one, that can compare to the atmosphere and anything like that to The Undertaker. Just nothing. And not only that, he's a great in-ring worker, can tell fantastic stories inside that ring. I mean, Undertaker, he's the greatest of all, he's one of the greatest of all time, man. So number 1, hands down, goes to The Undertaker. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this little special video. I hope you enjoyed. Do you want to see more top 10 videos like this? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big, fat, scary like. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to check me out on some other platforms like Twitter and Instagram, it is at JackaManLol31. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you guys later. Enjoy your Halloween, and I am out in 3, 2, 1.